A popular Filipino-Chinese dating tradition is front and center in a new young adult novel, Chloe and the Kaishao Boys, by Filipino-Chinese author Mae Coyiuto. Kaishao means to introduce, which often leads to arranged dates, not as binding as arranged marriages. Now, to tell us more about her latest masterpiece, we have author Mae right now in the studio. Good morning, Mae. Thank you for joining us. Great
Thanks
to have
for
you.
having me.
And congratulations on the success of this book.
Thank you so much.
All right. Are we drawing from a lot of personal experience here as far as the subject of Kaishao, the traditions of Filipino-Chinese? Where did this the inspiration for writing this particular novel come from?
Yeah, actually, when everyone sees that it's Chinese-Filipino girl in Manila, all of them are like,
Hang on, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's more, well, I've been set up on like these Kaishao dates before,
Sure.
but not like as young as high school. It
Okay.
was more like in college and then later on. And then when I was thinking of like a young adult novel, like a high school plot, I was
Yeah.
like, it would be kind of cool. What if it was done like in high school? I feel like that would be
Okay.
an awkward, like really fun story to
Yeah,
tell. Yeah.
and magnify the uneasiness and the awkwardness,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of actual inspiration that you can draw from these experiences that many people in the community actually sort of experience personally. Now, tell us a little bit more about the plot of the book. Chloe is actually torn between staying here, studying business management, or going to the U.S. to pursue her dream of being an animator again. There's a lot of inspiration there from your personal journey.
Yeah, so it's basically about Chloe, a Chinese-Filipino
Yeah.
girl whose dad and auntie basically set her up on these Kaishao, which is kind of like arranged dates to
Yeah.
convince her to stay home for college instead of going abroad. But yeah, I think I relate most to Chloe with that kind of like wanting like a creative career, while everyone around her community kind of wants like a more conventional route for her. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, and obviously we're going to have to read the book to find out what exactly happens. But as far as your personal writing journey goes, you took an interest in writing quite early on and really shined and found your rhythm when it comes to writing. And you've released your first collection of stories, Flight to the Stars, when you were just 16. Your first novel, The Year We Became Invincible, came out in 2010, and just this latest book, you lean towards the young adult category. What do you think about the popularity? It's funny how it's labeled as young adult, and there are many not so young adults who really find it quite entertaining and find the material quite relatable. You have obviously an audience in that target age group, but it's very relatable for everybody. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's funny because when I, like my bio, one of it is like, I'm a not so young adult who loves young adult fiction.
Right. And I think many readers are not so young adults, but actually enjoy this genre.
Yeah, I think what I love most about young adult books, I feel like they just take young people seriously.
Yeah.
Like those things like having your first crush, or
Sure.
like worrying about college,
Sure.
fighting with your barkada, like those
Right.
things that are trivial to some people,
Yeah.
they're seen as valid in these books.
And not particularly unique to just young adults. I mean, you still
Yeah.
experience those things, go through those things, as an older adult,
Yeah.
and maybe you don't quite label them as trivial as they are in your young adult years, but they are nonetheless important and very relatable. Please continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because these are called like coming of age stories, usually
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
high school kind of age. But I think like all of us, they're like, I don't know, I'm in my late 20s now, and I feel like I'm still coming of age.
Yeah.
And when I write these stories, it always feels like it's really hopeful and exciting. Like you're still working on becoming your best version, I guess. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's not limited to like the age range that we have with these.
Right. Well,
books,
I'm well beyond my early 20s, and I still feel like I'm still finding my stride. How do you make your story so relatable? Is there I don't know. I don't want to say a secret formula, because formula has some negative connotations in that sense. But how do you sort of latch on to that secret sauce that just makes people say, yeah, I can sort of relate to that, or I can feel, or I can empathize with what these characters are going through?
I think so. I was really worried about this one particularly because it
Why is
was
that?
very specific. Like it's my first one writing about like Chinese Filipinos
You're
in
right.
Manila, and but I think I heard from someone who said like you reach like universal relatability once you
Yeah.
get the specifics.
Yeah.
So Like there's this scene where Chloe, when she's nervous, she like puts like Vicks vapor rub on herself.
Okay.
And so many people like messaged me like, oh my God, I could relate.
That's
like,
me.
yeah. And I was like, this is such a specific thing. But
Yeah.
then that's when you find someone who like sees themselves in the book. So I don't know. I think once you like try to be as authentic as you can when you write these stories, that's when you find your audience.
Sure.
I think.
And
Yeah.
I think it's a great time to be Asian at this
Yes,
time. There's a
yeah.
great focus on Asian culture, and people are very much open to learning a little bit more about Asian cultures. Filipino-Chinese, Filipinos, U.S. Chinese, and so on. What's next for you? I mean, obviously you're riding on a great wave of success. The doors are open. You can have your pick of assignments, and what is going to be the next assignment for you?
Yeah, I'm working on a project. It hasn't been announced yet,
Okay.
so I'm not sure if I can say a lot. But
Okay, being secretive.
but it's
Right.
still a young adult novel.
right.
Still set in Manila. Hopefully, I make my deadline so it comes out sooner than later. But
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we won't keep you from your work, and your work is fantastic. Congratulations again on the success of this novel, and congratulations in advance. I'm sure the next one's going to be a big hit as well. Thank you so much for coming out to join us this early in the morning. That was Mae Coyiuto, of course, joining us this morning here on New Day. Thank you so much, Mae.